Hello, I'm Gillian and this is
Esther.
Today's story is all about Zachariah and Elizabeth.
Gabriel was an angel, a very busy angel. God decided that the time had come to send his son into the world, so he chose Gabriel to get everything ready. The first thing Gabriel did was to visit an old priest called Zachariah. He and his wife Elizabeth had no children of their own, and that made them very sad.
So, one day, while Zachariah was working in the temple burning incense, Gabriel appeared to him. Bright, shining, glowing gold. Zachariah had never seen an angel before, so he was very frightened. His legs turned to jelly, he quivered, he shivered, and he shook.
Don't be afraid, for I am here to bring you good news. You and your wife have been praying for a child, and soon your prayers will be answered. You will have a baby. You will call him John, and when he grows up, he will help the world get ready to meet God's own special son.
But my wife and I are so old. How can we possibly have a child?
I'll prove it to you. From this very moment until the time the child is born, you will not be able to speak a word. That way you will know that what I say is true.
Zachariah opened his mouth to answer the angel, but nothing came out. Not a word, not a whisper, not a sound. It wasn't long before his wife came and told him the most amazing news.
I'm going to have a baby. After all these years, our prayers have been answered.
Zachariah wanted to say, I know. He wanted to say, the angel told me this would happen. He wanted to shout, hooray! But all he could do was smile, and that smile said more than enough.
What will you call him? Tell us his name.
That's what everyone wanted to know. Elizabeth's sisters and brothers, her nieces and nephews, her cousins and neighbours and friends. They had all come round to celebrate the birth of her son. They knew how long she had prayed. They knew how long she had waited. They had shared her surprised delight when she discovered that she would be having a child at last. And now they wanted to know his name.
Perhaps you will name him after dear Uncle Ezra.
Or Grandfather Saul. Look, he has his smile.
Or what about our father? It would be such an honour.
And that's when Elizabeth held up her hand.
We have already decided on a name. We will call him John.
The room went quiet for a moment. And then Elizabeth's older sister asked the question that everyone wanted to hear.
But why do that? No one in our family has ever been called John.
And that's when Elizabeth turned to her husband Zachariah. He had been sitting there quietly, for that busy angel Gabriel had taken away his voice. Remember? Zachariah nodded and smiled a mysterious smile. Then he picked up a writing tablet and wrote on it, clearly so that everyone could see. His name is John. And the minute he did so, Zachariah could speak again.
Praise God!
And he didn't stop talking until he had told them everything about the angel's visit and God's promise and how Gabriel had told him exactly what the child's name would be.
This boy will be something special. God has great plans for him.
And so God did. For when little John grew up, he went to live in the wilderness. He ate locusts for his supper and wild honey for his dessert. And he told God's people to change their ways and to be sorry for the wrong things they had done, so that they would be ready to meet God's own special son.